If you've been searching for an AI note taker that actually works on your Apple Watch, you've probably noticed there aren't many good options out there. Most of the apps claiming to do this are just glorified audio recorders. They capture sound and spit out a transcript, but give you nothing genuinely useful. And that's a shame, because having a real AI note taker on your wrist is incredibly handy. It's always there, in meetings, at work, or anywhere you need to remember something. And the good ones turn those conversations into actual notes and action items, so you can stay present instead of scribbling everything down, or worse, trying to hold it all in your head. So instead of downloading all these different apps, paying for trials and testing them yourself, just watch this video until the end, because I've done all of that for you and I'll tell you exactly which one to get for your situation. You'll also find links to all of the recommended tools in the description of this video. Now, before we get into the apps that actually live on your wrist, let's clear up two names you've almost certainly come across, because these two are the two biggest AI note takers on the market right now. The first is Otter AI, which recently surpassed $100 million in annual revenue. The second is Fireflies AI, which just crossed a $1 billion valuation. These are massive and genuinely great tools. Otter is rock solid for transcribing Zoom, Teams and Google Meet, and Fireflies is fantastic for sales teams and businesses. But neither of them actually runs on Apple Watch. Both are meeting bots that join your online calls and transcribe them. And that's not what we're looking for in this video, so those two can be scratched off. So let's move on to the ones that can be used on your Apple Watch. The first one is just press record. This is the first real Apple Watch option, and the watch experience here is excellent. You tap once, it records and it syncs cleanly across your devices. It even does live transcription. The catch is that it's not really an AI note taker. It's more of a traditional voice recorder with transcription bottled on. So you will get a recording and a text version of it, but no summaries, no action items, no insights, none of the stuff that makes an AI note taker actually save you time. So if all you want is a fast, reliable way to capture audio on your wrist and nothing more, just press record is a solid pick. But if you actually want to make those transcriptions actionable, then this one isn't for you. Next up is Drafts, and this one's for the Apple power users out there. Drafts is a capture tool that can become almost anything you want it to be. You can build custom workflows, automations and actions that route your text and voice notes wherever you need them. The upside is that it's incredibly flexible. The downside is that all of the power requires setup. It's not an AI note taker out of the box. You have to build your own system to get close, and that takes time and a bit of tinkering. So if you love customizing your tools, spending a lot of time in them, and you want total control, Drafts is a good pick. But for most people who just want to hit record and get useful notes, it's more work than it's worth. Now this next one does actually give you those useful notes. Fourth is Plaud. And like the first two, it's not actually an Apple Watch app. It's a dedicated AI recorder. The most discreet one, the Note Pin, is a small wearable that you clip on or wear like a pin. It records and then syncs to Plaud's app for your transcripts and notes. The mics are strong and hands-free recording is convenient, but the catch is, Plaud is another device to buy, around $150 to $200 plus a subscription for the AI features. Which, if you already own an Apple Watch, you're paying twice for something that you already have. So Plaud only really makes sense if you want separate hardware. If not, keep watching, because the next tool is the one I'd actually recommend to most people. And that brings us to my top pick, Bluedot. Bluedot is the only tool on this list built by a dedicated AI note taker company that also made a native Apple Watch app. And you feel the difference immediately. You tap once on your wrist and it records your in-person conversations hands-free, with no bot, no laptop open on the table, nothing awkward sitting between you and the person you're talking to. Then the moment the conversation ends, it hands you back a clean transcript, a summary and your action items. But what really sets it apart is everything around the recording. It's one account across every device, your Apple Watch, your iPhone, your MacBook. So on your computer it can also capture phone calls and online meetings, and it transcribes accurately in over 100 languages. And if you're in business or sales, this is where it pulls away from everything else. Bluedot has deep CRM integrations that automatically update HubSpot, Salesforce and Pipedrive, so your notes and follow-ups land in your pipeline without any copy-pasting. It also gives you custom AI note templates and built-in sales frameworks like Medpic and Band. So your notes come out structured for exactly the kind of conversations you have. And it even has an MCP connector, meaning you can plug your meetings straight into Plaud and actually ask questions about what was said. Then in the privacy department, Bluedot does everything right too. It's SOC 2 compliant and GDPR compliant for those of you that are also in Europe. On top of that, it never trains AI on your data. Everything's encrypted and your data is deleted immediately with backups cleared within 30 days. Now one thing to note is that on in-person recordings, it can't automatically label who's speaking. It separates the voices, but you will have to name them yourself. On online calls, it pulls that from your calendar. That's a small trade-off for what you get. As for pricing, there is a free plan you can use to test it, though it is capped at 5 meetings for the lifetime of the account, so it's really just for trying it out a few times, not for the long haul. Paid plans then start at $14 a month billed annually. If you already wear an Apple Watch and you're in a lot of face-to-face or client conversations, Bluedot is the one to get. It's the closest thing to having an AI assistant right there on your wrist. And if you're currently using Otter AI or Fireflies, you can also cancel those. Then the last option I want to mention is Wave. It's another Apple Watch native app that records and transcribes on its own, with Voice ID to label recurring speakers and support for 76 languages. And it's slightly cheaper than Bluedot. They have a free plan with 30 minutes a month, then Pro at $11.67 a month billed annually. But honestly, in my opinion, it's just not as good as Bluedot. On privacy, they're actually similar. Both are SOC 2 audited and neither trains AI on your recordings. But Bluedot is also GDPR compliant and has full encryption and immediate data deletion. So you're not giving up any privacy. And in my opinion, Bluedot pulls ahead everywhere else that matters. The deep CRM integrations, the custom note templates and sales frameworks, the cloud connection and all of the other integrations with, for example, Notion. And none of which is really offered by Wave. On top of that, Wave has a reliability issue. The most common user complaint is recordings dropping mid-session, usually when a phone call interrupts. So yes, Wave saves you a few dollars a month and it is a genuine Apple Watch app. But for almost everyone, Bluedot is simply the better tool. So overall, which one should you pick? Here's how I would decide. For most people watching this, anyone who wears an Apple Watch and wants their in-person conversations turned into useful notes automatically, Bluedot is the clear winner. It's wrist native, but free, works across all your devices, and if you're in sales or business, the CRM integrations and note templates make it a genuine no-brainer. One tap on your wrist and the notes basically write themselves. If you want to spend a little less and still get a true Apple Watch app, Wave is the slightly cheaper alternative. Just know you are giving up the CRM features, the templates and some reliability to save a few dollars. And if you just want a simple, reliable recorder on your wrist with no AI, just press record does that well. And if you're an Apple Power user who loves building custom workflows, then Drafts will let you make almost anything. But again, for the vast majority of people, it comes down to one, which is Bluedot. Again, I've left links to all of the tools mentioned down in the description where you can get started for free and try them out. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.